Hi, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Arlene and welcome to my channel. As the title suggests, today I'll be sharing some of the words that I used incorrectly and phrases that I misunderstood when I first came here in America, in the hope that your Filipino wife will not repeat the same mistake. And also, in the latter part of this video, I'll be sharing some of the expressions and phrases that I find interesting and I feel that it'll be helpful for your Filipina as she navigates her new life here in America. Alright, without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, number one on my list is the word until. And rightfully so, because I have observed that to this day, a lot of Filipinos are still using this word incorrectly. And that is when we try to explain something that is still going on, that we're still doing or we are still experiencing, and we say until now. So I discovered that I was using this word incorrectly was when I gave my husband the biggest confusion of his life. At that time, I was looking for something and I was so frustrated because I can't find it for days. I told my husband, can you help me find the scissors? I've been looking for it for days and I can't find it until now. And my husband was like, what? What do you want me to do exactly? I said, help me find the scissors because I can't find it until now. My husband was like, you've been using it the wrong way. Why are you saying until now when you are still looking for it? And it dawned on me. My Filipino friends, I hope this would be your reminder to be mindful whenever you use the word until. And commonly we use it with the word now. It's until now, like every time we explain something that we are still experiencing or something that we are still doing, when in fact that's not the proper way to do it, my friends, because when you add them together, it would mean that on that day when you were saying it, you're no longer experiencing or you're no longer doing what you were trying to say. So instead of until now, if you really mean that you are still doing or if you're still experiencing it, you would need to use to date or to this day. That's the proper way. And the next word on my list is would. This is quite funny, guys. So I just started a new job and then I emailed our VP Finance at that time asking her about certain things. And then her reply to me was, I would ask, and then the name of my office mate about it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, in my understanding as a Filipina, I thought she meant that she's going to ask my office mate and then she will tell me the answer to my question. That's my understanding. And then the following day, the person that was training me asked me if I have already consulted our VP Finance over that thing that we were confused about. And I said, yeah, I emailed her yesterday and she said she would ask, but I haven't heard from her yet. And then she said, Arlene, I know where you're coming from. English is not also my first language, so we have the same understanding. But you know what? What she really meant in her message was that she wants you to ask this office mate. And I was like, oh, good to know, because I was just waiting for her to tell me what that office mate told her. It's like, yeah, right. So we just laughed. Right, so next is talk to you later. When I first heard my husband use this, I find it weird. Why would you say talk to you later when you do not really intend to talk to that person later? In the Philippines, we only use that talk to you later when we really intend to talk to that person later. And I just found out here in the US that you use talk to you later to say goodbye. It's like, okay. I actually told my friend about this. And she's also dating somebody that is not a Filipino, and she's like, oh, okay. Because one time her boyfriend texted her, talk to you later, and she was waiting and waiting and waiting for him to call again. So yeah, Filipinas, if your boyfriend or husband said talk to you later, that just means goodbye. Talk to you next time or something like that. In my first job, I used to go to the office 4 times a week, and I noticed that when my office mates are leaving, they would say, see ya, or good night. At first, I find it awkward because, like, it would have been, why would she say see ya when we're already leaving? Duh, she was just trying to say see ya tomorrow. Because in the Philippines, if we say see ya, it's like we already have agreed on some dates that we're gonna meet. So that's what I say, see ya. Or like, for example, we usually use that when like we were talking and discussing and agreeing on the date that we're gonna meet, and then we will say see ya when we're gonna end the conversation. But not when we are about to leave. Or usually when we're about to leave the office, we will say, oh yeah, see ya tomorrow. We add tomorrow. I just find it awkward when you say see ya. And then the word good night. Good night too, in the Philippines, we only use that when we wanna tell it to the person who's about to sleep, not when we are about to leave. Good night is just goodbye. Next, in the Philippines, when somebody says thank you to us, almost always we would say you're welcome or welcome, because we are not really used to using other expressions of, you're welcome. It could be no problem, no worries, don't think about it. Yeah, I know you Americans, you have a lot of ways on how to say you're welcome, but did you know that as a Filipino, saying you bet instead of you're welcome is not really sounding good to us? It connotes something negative. Yes, before that was me. Like when somebody say you bet, it feels like that person is so condescending, so arrogant, or something like that. But now I understand that they're just saying you're welcome. So yeah, Filipino friends, if somebody said you bet or you betcha, they're just saying you're welcome. Next is on the fence. And I learned about this from my husband. One time, I asked him, husband, where do you want to eat tonight? Do you want to go to the sushi place or do you want to go to the teriyaki place? And my husband was like, I'm actually on the fence. And I thought at that time that he was blabbering about something that's not related to my question. So I repeated my question and I said, husband, where do you want to eat? Teriyaki place or in the sushi place? And my husband was like, that's what I said. I'm on the fence, meaning I can't decide. Whatever you pick is fine with me. And I was like, okay, on the fence. Another thing that's confusing or a little bit awkward for me to use is go off. And my husband usually used that expression when he refers to the alarm sounding off. And he was like, oh, is that your alarm going off in the bedroom? Or the alarm goes off at 9 a.m. And I was like, why is it goes off? And I thought to myself, oh, maybe because when you set the alarm, that's when you turn it on, and then when it sounds at the time that you set it to, it went off. And then I googled it, guys. Thanks to Google. So I googled it and it's like, it's actually it's just the same as like explode or it sounded. So yeah, the alarm goes off or the bomb goes off. To us Filipinos, it's awkward. It's because when we refer to the alarm sounding, we just say, oh, the alarm sounds, or yeah, we don't say the alarm goes off. Another interesting phrase that I want to share is the play it by ear. I learned this from my father-in-law. One time we were discussing on something and we were trying to come up with like when they're gonna visit us. And then because we cannot really agree to the date, and so he just told me, you know what, let's just play it by ear. Meaning that if the circumstances permit, then they will visit. If not, then they will not, and no big deal. At that time, I did not ask my father-in-law what he meant by play it by ear, because I kind of put two and two together. And just a trivia to you guys, actually in my dialect, which is Bisaya, we have this expression paminawon lang, which is kind of the same meaning with played by ear. Just interesting because played by ear and then paminawon comes from the root word paminaw, which is listen in English. Interesting. The next expression is, I think, my favorite of my new discoveries, and that is, I can't wrap my head around it. My husband loves this expression and I have been using it as well. I don't know if you've noticed it in my videos. It just means that it's unbelievable, or I can't understand, things like that. I can't wrap my head around it. Another favorite expression in our household is nip it in the bud, which means stop something at an early stage. It's another way of saying to correct something or someone before they lead to something that you can't control or you can't handle in the future. And from the favorite expression, now let's go to the not so favorite expression, or at least for me. I really hate it when my husband used this expression on me. And that is when I asked him something and he would tell me, Arlene, it's not rocket science. I was like, I really hate it. I'm asking for your help because clearly I don't know. And then you kind of like insulting me. that I don't know that thing that I was asking for. Anyway, lastly, guys, the expression that I would like to share is knock it out of the park. I really love this expression, and that is when you wanna say that something or someone did extremely well, so like they knock it out of the park. Like, I really like the movie, the director knocked it out of the park. So yeah, I hope you learned something from me today, and I hope you enjoyed from my stories as well. If you can relate, please let me know in the comment section, or if there are some expressions that I have not included here and you would like to share and you feel that would be helpful as well to the Filipinas watching, please feel free to drop it down in the comment section. And I really appreciate you watching this video. I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye for now. Have a great day, all of you.